So, Google has had a couple of issues over the last couple of years, and all of them come from their devices being too expensive and not performing as expected. But the A lineup, the 3A and 4A, this more affordable $300 to $400 lineup has been kind of their saving grace in the last 2 years, and I'm so excited to finally give the Pixel 4A a shot. So this phone only costs $350, but I think that you get a lot for your $350 here, and it's a very serious contender against the iPhone SE and the OnePlus Nord, both which are actually a little bit more expensive than this phone. So this undercuts them both in price, but specs-wise, it's not too far off. So this is a very simple box, not much to see here. You just got your basic info at the bottom, which just gives you the model number, the name, the storage and the color options and everything. And again, there's not anything to pick from here. There's only one variant available. It's plain and simple. You got a 128 gig storage with a 6 gig of RAM option. That's it, in black. So that's it. There's nothing else to choose from here. I don't know if this was done more to keep the cost down or just to keep their options simplified, or I don't know what it was, but whatever it is, I'm okay with it, given that this is a very aggressively priced phone. So at the back, of course, you've got the hashtag Team Pixel, and you've got 2 pull tabs. So let's pull on these to open up the box. And this is, again, a very familiar Pixel unboxing experience. And let's go ahead, flip it over, and see what there is. So phone facing back up. So, okay, a little bit dusty right off the get-go. So let me put that to the side there. Very nice. Size feels really good. The back looks really clean. Right, not the greatest unboxing experience, but not the worst. Got some documentation, SIM card removal tool, all that wonderful stuff. USB-C to USB-A adapter, USB-C to C charger, and a charge brick as well, which is, I believe, a higher powered 15 watt brick, which is capable of fast charging, or 18 watt, I'm sorry. Let me just double check that really quick. Yes, this is an 18 watt power fast charger for the Pixel 4a. So that's impressive right off the bat. They didn't have to do that. They did, though. So really not much inside the box per se. I think the real star of the show, of course, as you'd expect, is the phone. So let me put all this to the side. Let's look at the phone. So this is plastic on the back, but with all this kind of matte finished glass that I've been using recently, it doesn't feel that bad. It really doesn't make me feel like I'm using plastic per se. It just feels like another kind of coating on top of glass. Like the last couple of glass phones I've used don't feel like plain like a sheet of glass. They have these textures and coatings that make them feel a little bit different. So not really a huge difference. Definitely can tell by tapping on it, but otherwise it looks pretty good. Let me lift off the screen protector here, and boom. So this does have a flat display. It's of course got the accented power button that Google has kind of become known for. That's their thing, and I don't mind it. It looks pretty cool. The back has got a single camera, but a very large bump. They didn't have to do this, but I think it's just a marketing kind of trick there to make people reminisce this with the newer phones, because all the newer phones have this kind of squared off camera bump nowadays. So I think that this was just kind of a way to make this phone look newer than it actually is. So let me power it on. Power button feels really tactile. Both the buttons feel, all the buttons, man. I haven't felt buttons this like clicky in a long time. Just listen to this. These are really clicky buttons. Of course, they don't feel as, I don't know, they definitely feel solid. They don't move around or anything, but that feel of plastic I can tell definitely with the buttons, whereas I really can't tell while I'm holding on the back. Another thing I'm noticing is that the fingerprint scanner is so subtle. It's almost just kind of like a little bit of a, kind of a small little indent in the back. There's no ring around it. There's nothing to bring attention to it. There's no design element really bringing focus to it. It's just there. It's there. There's really nothing else to say about it. And it looks really cool. So unboxing, the screen's turning on. This has this punch hole display on the top left, which has kind of become a standard nowadays. That's kind of what you're seeing on everything. It's got a little bit of a chin at the bottom. Again, not really a big deal at this price point, really doesn't matter. But I will say though, since they did keep this a little bit large and this here, it looks decently uniform throughout. Sure, this is definitely, the bottom is a little bit thicker than the sides and the top, but for the most part, it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look very it doesn't look as bad as the Pixel 4a with that huge chin up top, but nothing at the bottom. So looks not bad in the display wise. So let me set this up and then give you guys what my first thoughts are after that. Alright guys, so I got the phone set up and I've been playing around with it for a couple of minutes, and from my first initial impressions, there's a couple of things that I've noticed. So first off, remember I said that the buttons are super clicky and they feel like they're more tactile than I've ever heard before? Well, that comes with a downside. They are actually really hard to press right now. So I'm guessing this might just be something that's because it's brand new. I'm sure with time it might get a little bit smoother and easier, but right now it's quite hard. It takes a decent amount of pressure to actually engage the buttons. Another thing that this phone has is the physical fingerprint scanner, which is actually super fast. So watch this. I'm going to put my finger on and it'll unlock in just like a matter of a second. So this is super fast, very quick unlock. And in the age of wearing masks, of course, having a fingerprint scanner is a super helpful thing. Now, going to the screen, it's actually not bad at all. It is a 1080p resolution. It does have, it is an OLED screen. But overall, there's nothing that amazing about it. But more interestingly, there's nothing bad about it. For the once, this is a Pixel phone that looks modern on the front. It doesn't have any weird, spaces for a radar chip we're going to use or a really bad notch. This is a very respectable and very in line with what you'd expect display for this kind of price point. And, things look pretty good. Now, another thing that I do want to talk about is the speaker. So, when I gave them a little bit of a listen, what I did notice was that the speakers aren't the greatest. I'm going to do a little bit more comparison when I have a little bit more time with it, and I've spent more time with it to see what exactly is different. But from my initial impressions, what I felt was that the bottom firing speaker, so this does have stereo speaker, so the microphone speaker up here, the earpiece speaker, and the speaker at the bottom of the phone, they work together to give you stereo audio, but I am noticing that the bottom one is way more powerful than the top one, and you can almost hear the differences. Like they almost sound like they're on two different, it's all like you can very clearly tell that they're two different speakers instead of one working together, which is what kind of stereo speakers are supposed to do. You're not supposed to know how many there are. You're just supposed to know that you get a better, more enveloped sound. So that was that. But the camera, oh my god. So I've been in this room. I haven't really left, I'll be honest with you, but the few photos that I took after setting this phone up, oh my god, are they impressive. Just look at the quality of this stuff. Like, it is almost like DSLR quality. Things look fantastic. Like, this is just a great phone, and great camera, and I just know that as I use the camera on this is definitely going to be one of the standout features. And I think Google knew that, and that's very much so what their goal was as well. Now, another thing that I did notice is that this has night sight. So night sight is amazing, and I am very sure that it is going to kick OnePlus and Apple's, but the iPhone SE doesn't even have night mode, so let's not even talk about it. That's out of depth here, but this is going to be amazing. So I can't wait to actually just get this alongside the OnePlus Nord and iPhone SE and see how the camera is comparing and where this excels compared to those two. Now, beyond that performance, this has a Snapdragon 730 chipset. So not 5G, this is just the normal 4G, which is actually good because 5G still has yet to roll out in most places, and even if it has, it's not really that great yet. So really, you're not missing out much by not having 5G. But keeping costs lower is great. 730G, it's performing so far decent. I have been using the 735G on the OnePlus Nord, and I really didn't feel anything too bad about it. So I will give it a little bit more scrutiny as I do a more thorough review and testing with this phone, but so far, I'm impressed. Now, the back, of course, as I talked about when I unboxed it, it doesn't feel too bad, with the age of coated, textured glasses and everything. This doesn't feel very far off. Like, I'm used to this kind of matte finished back, so it really doesn't feel like this is a cheaper phone by any measure. It, in fact, feels very similar to most other devices that you will kind of hold and feel. The one thing that is weird to me, definitely the one design element that doesn't sit right with me, is the weird camera It could have just been something simple like in the days of the Pixel 1. That was a very clean, flat design. That would have been better, but I think, it's very clear that this is just done to make the phone look newer than, and act like a new phone, just kind of make it easier to market. And people have associated kind of this design trend to be a new phone thing, so it makes sense. Okay, so the front, of course, the display, as I said, it's not that bad at all. It's pretty decent. I will do a little bit more testing and figure out what the quality is compared to the OnePlus Nord and iPhone SE. But so far, I'm liking what I'm seeing, and that's it for the initial impressions on the Google Pixel 4a, guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you have a Pixel 4a, what do you love about it? What do you hate about it? I want to know all about it down in the comments below. And if you haven't already, be sure to follow me on social media. A lot more updates to come down over there. So all the links are on the all the handles, are on the screen right here. So go follow me over there, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe for more Pixel 4a content. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.